Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing The Last of Us on grounded difficulty mode. You might have noticed that in the previous video, things look really good. That's because I rendered the video file in 1080p, and it turned out that... How long was that video? It was less than 15 minutes, wasn't it? And then it turned out to be 3 gigabytes, nearly 3 gigabytes, like 2.8 something gigabytes, which took... It takes about 3 times as long as if I render it in 720p, so you guys have to realize that, first of all, I'm back in the game, just got back from the hospital. I had some bad issues, but fortunately they hooked me up with enough good stuff, like morphine, to help me out, and I needed it. I really did need it, so I'm back in the game, and I'm punching motherfuckers in the face and pushing them into the buses until their heads explode. So, you have to realize that when I record, it makes a source file, and when I then render a bunch of source files, having edited them, that is a copy. And then when it goes to YouTube, it's a copy. So what you're seeing on YouTube is a copy of a copy, and it invariably depreciates in quality. So you're just going to have to realize that even if I render these at 1080p, they still depreciate. And I'll be glad to upload them in 60 frames a second, but I will have to keep it at 720p because it's just a one of those decisions that I have to make every single time. If it's a shorter video, I'm probably talking about stuff that people really don't care about. So the strategy here is just get on top of the bus and just push and kick motherfuckers off of it. I did this in Survivor, and I'm doing it now. I took a hit here, I believe, and now I'm in the red. And I think I used 2 med kits. Goodbye, old timer. I used a couple of I used stuff. This is a chapter where you're gonna have to use stuff. There's gonna be a bloater fight, and like this, it's just a big fight. So sometimes I don't understand this game. Like, it's just a huge fight in 2 waves, and I took some damage. Okay, so I have 2 med kits, and he's clutching his side right there. So now we're gonna go into school and do a pretty... I don't know how to describe that either. It's... If you're quiet, you can get by most of it, but you're not going to be able to get by all of it, even if you are quiet. But you should at least try to be stealthy in the beginning, because then you won't have enemies in greater numbers. Like, for instance, if you're not quiet, they will jump down from the 2nd floor of the high school, and you'll have to kill more people. So, I actually did this live, and I was doing my live reactions, sort of like in Ninja Gaiden 2, and it just made me seem kind of stupid because I was calling everybody bitches and whores because they were pissing me off. It was last night when I was needing to go to the hospital. But once Ellie gets up there, she'll put the ladder down for you. And I'm just going to discuss these sequences as they occur. Okay, so... What you want to do now is just go over to the window, and I think you have to wait for Bill to open it. Possibly. I don't think so, though, because it's not really a key entrance. It's just sliding open a window. So I really don't like this chapter, but it's challenging, and not enough games are challenging these days. And that's not a cliche, that's a fact. So when you jump down in here, you're going to get yourself a checkpoint. And at this point, I think I'm clutching my side still. Am I? Is he clutching? If I'm clutching my side, then I'm very low on HP. Is he? Yeah. But I know that there is a partial heal in the first classroom. So this sequence here, we have a what are those guys called? Clickers. We have a clicker over there, and you can also do this technique here where it won't fire, even though you're putting tension on the bow. So we have that clicker over there, which you can stealth kill, but it doesn't look like it did a good job of that. It took 2 arrows to take that thing down, and then at least it was quiet. That was a quiet kill, because we have a runner right there, that woman right there. There's also a runner down below. You also may have seen a highlighted runner up on the secondaries. You see him right by the lockers? This runner is easy to kill. Just remember, you got to be quiet, and you can't mantle over this cover if she's too close to you. So if you're stealthy here, then the runners upstairs won't jump down into the fray. But what I'm trying to do is not use a med kit right now and wait to get that heal up there. And now I'm going to take this guy out over here in the corner. And I guess I'm just going to have to talk about that Ninja Gaiden 2 tangent on another video, because if there's not enough time here. These are too hard of sequences, and people are going to need help here. So shoot this guy right in the back. And if you ever see the arrow sticking out of a course, it means you can go over there and collect it, that it hasn't broken. So here we go. So here's another clicker, which I'm going to try to take out stealthily. There we go. And when you go into that classroom, on the other door, on the other side of the classroom, there's going to be another clicker coming in and several runners. So at that point, you will not be responsible for any of the runners from upstairs, because you were stealthy in this particular area. So I healed here with the anticipation of not healing again until the Bloater boss fight, and that's exactly what happened. But then when I got to the Bloater boss fight, I was in the red, and one of his pollen spore throws that he did at me killed me, so I had to immediately heal again, and I wasted a nail bomb and a Molotov and some shotgun shells and some of the rifle shells too. But that's only because I haven't been using stuff. So now when I need to use it, I can. So that's how you're going to have to approach it. And I will not tolerate anybody saying, I can't do this part because I don't have the stuff. Well, you shouldn't have used the stuff before. You have to know when you need to use the stuff, which is to say, don't ever use stuff unless you absolutely have to. So this part here, it's difficult because you've got these runners here, and 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen here is that you're going to get accosted, because they're going to go on one side of that desk. But at least if you fall back now, you throw bottles, and pick this brick up, and then just start throwing bottles and rely on Bill to kill people. But I had trouble with the last spawn, which is 3 enemies, 3 more runners. So at this point my health is pretty high, even though there's no indication of it. There will be, when you are in the red, you can see like a red border on the side of the screen, plus he'll clutch his side. And the Ninja Gaiden 2 topic that I was mentioning is that when I was recording my Prince of Darkness run on the PC for Lords of Shadow 2, I was mentioning a topic related to Ninja Gaiden 2 and modding and the PC, and I will talk about it in Pittsburgh, because there will be plenty of opportunities to do so. So okay, so hopefully Bill can kill this last clicker for us. Do not use any ammo out here unless you need, you absolutely have to. Save your ammo for the bloater. And okay, so Bill's in peril. You can either go up and punch the clicker, which is not dangerous, because then he can just run away, or you can throw a brick. So at least we got our arrow back. And now there's just going to be that last spawn, and they're fully aggroed, so they're going to come at you. And I think I got beat up here pretty badly, and I was really pissed off that because at this point my health is pretty high. I think I'm in the green at this point. And I really, really hate the people that made this difficulty and took the head off. It's ridiculous. You're just taking the fucking fun out of the game. These guys, wait, are they? They're not aggroed. So, I mean, they're in a neutral state, so they wouldn't be chasing me if I didn't make that noise right there. And so it's up to you. If you want to use arrows, you can. But I would implore you to be as stealthy as you can here. And come back here, try to find bricks and bottles that you may not have picked up. And what I also really, really hate, and I mentioned this in the last video, is that the narrow buttons of the start button. I have a big thumb, and when I have to reset the goddamn thing, it always hits the touchpad because I really don't understand the people that made the PS4 controller. You know, it's nice. I like the thumbsticks, even though they're a little bit too small, but my thumbs always slip off them because I sweat a lot. But why can't you just have traditionally standard sized start and select buttons? I mean, there's not even a start. Yeah, this right here. I'm in the red. So, I know I'm nitpicking, but so often in this game I have to press quote unquote options, you know, to restart. It's a button that I always press because, you know, when I get grabbed, I don't just like watch the animation every fucking time. I want to just press start, which you can, and then press restart from checkpoint. So the button needed to be at least twice as wide as it is. And anyway, so that's enough nitpicking. Have a bottle on hand. And on this, so my situation, I hope if you get into a situation like this, just heal before you go in here. I was stubborn, so now what I have to do every single time I start is heal. So the bloater, all he does is he tosses these pollen spores at you. It's an area of effect attack in the air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the nail bomb and use the Molotov. That's all I'm going to use as far as those deadly weapons. And then you've just got to kind of just run around. There's 2 lackeys at first. They will throw more lackeys at you if they sense that you're out of bullets. But I've had a couple lackeys spawn, a couple more lackeys spawn, and I did have more bullets, but there were bullets that were in guns that were not drawn. They were in the holsters that I hadn't selected yet. So once you get them into this phase, it's pretty good, and I would highly recommend you switch to the rifle. If you're going to use a shotgun, make sure you're at close range. Otherwise, use this to get more successful headshots. See, there's a good headshot, but he takes a long time. And it's a pretty tough fight. I mean, I've never enjoyed this, but it's a challenge, and I like it. You know, there really is nothing. Okay, so now he's dead. Beware, because there's no checkpoint and there's three more enemies. So pick up. You always get some pretty good loot from that type of a kill. So I did waste a few items on this chapter, but I still have, you know, I'm comfortable with what I've used. That's important. If you're not comfortable, you might want to restart. So pick the spare parts up in this room. It's not very many. It's just 10 machine parts. And then you're going to get a cutscene, and you'll be down here on your own. So what I would suggest is you take 1 shot, at most 2. You know, get at least 1 guy killed, and then have that brick on hand. Don't use the brick in the bloater fight. These guys are going to come right up here, start shooting. I clipped that 1 guy, and then I'm going to throw a bottle, and then just smash him. And then the last guy comes up a little bit later, so they give you a chance, but the lock-on for the hits was pretty shitty right there. But I don't think they gave you a checkpoint on Survivor either. I was going to check, but I'm too busy. I just got back from the ER, like I said. And so this shit right here, I don't know what to say about this either, because both of these fucking assholes who are my teammates cock-blocked me on a ladder. It's like, can't you give me a little more consideration? Because I'm the one playing this game. I need to get up there in a hurry. Like, why does he have to go up first? Why does this fucking idiot have to get in my way? And I thought they were going to pull me right off the ladder and kill me. So it's horrible. Do you get a checkpoint? Who knows? Okay, this is the start of the next encounter. Whoops, let me turn the fucking volume off. I'm sorry. I'm a little disheveled. I just got back, like I said, from the clinic. And, you know, when you get back, it takes a lot out of you from going to the hospital. But this part, not too bad. But when I say restart, I mean, fuck. When I say that this is the start of the encounter, it is. You do not want to restart encounter at any time because they give you one checkpoint, which is all you really need for these 3 waves. But if you ever, you know, for instance, get grabbed by a clicker and you want to expedite the process and restart from the, you know, it never says restart checkpoint, it says restart encounter. So if you restart the encounter, you're going to be back in here before you've picked up anything. Then you'll have to do this all over again. So back in Chapter 4, when I was complaining about the upside down hanging section and, you know, having to wait every single time for that 45 seconds, there it was egregious. Here it's actually fair, but you have to realize that if you get grabbed, just let the animation carry out and do it. So when you push it forward, you can go up a ways, and then see that clicker over there? Once you hear enemies coming, get off the truck. And where I'm going right now is for this brick, but the partners get in peril pretty easily over here, and they come. The first spawn is on the left, the second's on the right, and the third is on the left. So it's always the same. But I will say, pull out your shotgun. But anytime there's just an individual runner coming at you, just do the punching match, because they don't even counter. There was one really fucking close call over here, and I'm sorry for swearing so much. I hate doing it. Doesn't sound professional. This is me looking for another bottle or brick that I don't think exists. There's only one of them. But like, for instance, right here, there's this last clicker. Just let Bill take care of them. And see, you can melee. I mean, you could punch the clickers if Bill is tussling with them. Even when he pushes them away, they get stunned, and you can. I would take no more than one punch. See, one punch, get off of them, and then go back on the truck. Then they're going to come from the right. You'll see them kind of burrowing out from behind that bush right there. Just press back on the left analog stick to get off the truck, and there's one section up here that I wanted to point out where, you know, I was going to take the shot, and then I decided, you know, it was one of those split-second decisions where, do I take the shot or do I conserve the ammo? And I ended up conserving the ammo because it was just one runner coming at me. I'll know it when I see it. But just be very careful, these guys. Here is another instance. I think that might have been the instance where I could have shot that clicker, but it's the last one of the spawn, so why not just let Bill take care of her, you know, and then just punch her when I need to. So this is the last spawn. Like I said, it's not too bad. The enemies are going to come from the left this time. So get off really quickly and just back up as much as you can. But I almost got grabbed by a clicker over here. Here was another instance. See, I was going to shoot her, but even though it takes a lot of punches, just, you know, if you think you can get away with it, you know, your instincts are what are going to get you through this game. So just don't punch too many people unless you know that there's not a clicker nearby. This clicker was the one that almost killed me. Whereas it is a really... I think I was going for the bottle. Like, it was right over here somewhere. Like, right over here. So dangerous. That, if you know how close that it was. But that's it. That's all you have to do. Just push the truck all the way down, and then run to the truck, and then press the triangle button, and then it'll be in a cutscene, and then we'll be in Pittsburgh, and then I promise I will talk about that tangent that I mentioned. So everybody take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Really appreciate the support.